Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Alysia here and I'm very excited to be with you for our weekly Global Online Fireside Chat. My apologies once again for not being able to join you last week Wednesday, but I've been told that Darren did an absolutely phenomenal job. So thank you again, Darren, for that. We've had a fascinating Global Investor Online Fireside Chat this past Sunday on Bitcoin, blockchain, and the future of the fintech industry. Truly fascinating insights were shared by our global panel of world-class experts. Definitely worth you guys taking a listen to that one too. Today, I'm broadcasting to you live from a very early San Francisco, California, looking out over the exquisite San Francisco East Bay and Bridge. This is a truly magnificent city, the pulsating heart of global technology entrepreneurship. Once again, it's truly an honor to be here with you from Northern California. During this trip, I've had the honor of being coached by some of the top investor minds here in the Bay Area, met with some revolutionary startup entrepreneurs, investors, and venture capitalists, and have hung out in the famous clock towers and cemented collaborations with some of the top global thought leaders in fintech and blockchain. As you can see, there's never a dull moment when it comes to our global fireside chat community in the global capital of entrepreneurship. As always, today we have an absolutely amazing session planned for you. We have a panel of brilliant VIP experts joining us from across the globe, logging in to help you understand those tiny habits that will help you transform both your life and your business to achieve entrepreneurial success. This is going to be truly spectacular. Now I've got you all excited. Let me go ahead and introduce you to our VIP guests before asking them to properly introduce themselves to you. Welcome to India-based Anand Joseph, who's a strategist, business builder, and mentor. Welcome to Ireland-based Doug Gordon, who's an asset manager, mindfulness expert, and coach. Welcome to London-based Paulina Tenner, who's a serial entrepreneur, investor, speaker, and government funding expert. Welcome to France-based Lalit Gautam, who's a serial social entrepreneur, change maker, investor, and maker. And welcome to India-based Shivani Singh, who's a lawyer, banker, leadership consultant, and psychologist by nature. Now, I know you want to listen to them and you want to learn from them, and they are here to teach us. So why don't I ask our VIPs to introduce themselves to you? Let's start with Shivani. Shivani, please say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. This is Shivani here from India. I'm very excited to be a part of this conversation with some very, very interesting people across the globe. Thank you, Alysia, for inviting me. I am a banker, a lawyer, and a sociologist by professional qualification, and a true psychologist by nature, someone who is very absolutely fascinated by people's behavior, very curious to know all the hows and whys of the behavior and what can we do in order to get what's to be done in order to move ahead. I'm currently working in the leadership consulting space with Blue Minds Consulting, where we are working with a bunch of very unique, creative people, and we're on a mission to transforming people in organizations in the right field.
Welcome, Shivani. Very, very excited that you're joining us. Paulina, please say hi to everyone from London.
Hello to everyone from rainy and disgusting London. I'm hoping to bring a little bit of my internal sunshine into the conversation, even though the weather outside is awful. My name is Paulina, although my team call me Pau. I'm a founder of a couple of companies. My key focus at the moment is Grantry, a company that has delivered 60 million sterling worth of equity-free funding to over 600 companies in the tech space. So I'm more than happy to give you some tips on how to maximize grant funding and equity-free funding in general. I also invest in startups, I mentor startups, and I am a massive believer in human potential and growing small companies.
Thank you, Paulina. Extremely excited to have you join us. I know a lot of our entrepreneurs will have a lot of questions for you, both during the session and after the session. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Doug, please say hi to everyone.
Hi, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be on the show. Thank you, Alysia. Thank you all for listening. So my background, I've been in asset management or fund management for 20 years. I was sales director at Threadneedle, Columbia Threadneedle, which is one of the biggest fund managers in the world. Number one sales guy there, took 1.75 billion in one particular year, 8 billion while I was there altogether. Moved across back to Ireland to work for Davy Asset Management, which is Ireland's biggest financial services company. I head up their sales, marketing and PR. And over the last few years, I had a near-death experience in 2012, which changed my life. I came back with a gift of healing. I also had a very strange thing happen to me where I fell over and had INRI and 888 on my hand. I have photos and loads of proof. And then with the healing, it led to life coaching led to business coaching led to corporate workshops, and I look after a lot of corporates now. I do 17-hour days. I help a lot of people, and my aim in life is to help and serve people. Full stop.
Welcome, 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 Doug. Very excited to have you join us as well. Anand, please say hello.
Hi, Alysia, and hi, everyone out there. Great to be on the show. Really looking forward to it. I work very closely in the tech sector. I'm very passionate about technology, and specifically with startups. I mentor them and work with them on both on a community and business level. I've also co-founded a company that does IT product development for web and mobile apps, and we include a tech accelerator program where we partner with non-tech entrepreneurs to help them bring their product to life. And so it's great to be here, and it'll be great talking about my experiences.
Awesome, Anand. Welcome. Last but not least, we're going to ask Lalit to introduce himself, and then we are going to jump into the best part where you get to learn from our experts. Lalit, please say hello.
Hey, hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Alysia, for the introduction. Hi, guys. I'm Lalit Gautam. I'm a French-Indian entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I founded 4 successful companies, and out of 4, 3 is well funded. I'm also a speaker, I'm a mentor, I'm consulting startups, as well as I started my career as an investor as well. I'm just 27-year-old, and I have a lot of things to add on my profile. And I will tell about my startup and how I started my journey in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, Lalit. I'm going to quickly run through some shout outs, and then we are going to jump into learning from the best. On the screen are contact details for all our panelists. Feel free to reach out to them. I know they'd love to hear from you. Feel free to keep sending your questions through to inspireme@onlinefiresidechat.com. And as always, we'll do our best to try and include them. Given how many of you are joining us today from around the world, we have community champions managing your questions, so we will do our very best to get them answered. Just a reminder, we have community champions in ever-growing meetup groups in over 80 cities in 57 countries across the globe, including in North and South America, the UK, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, India, Asia, and Australia. I know you want to learn from our VIPs, so I'm not going to run you through the list of all these places around the world. If you'd like to meet up with your local chapters or you'd like to start your own, feel free to reach out to us via email and we'll put you in contact with our local champion. On that note, I can't say this enough. Thank you to all our volunteer champions from around the globe. You are the heart and soul of our community, and we would not be here today if it was not because of you. Our aim is to inspire and empower entrepreneurs in more than 100 countries in the next few months, and with your help, we know we can make this happen. Thank you once again to our growing family of supporters and collaborators from around the world who are once again hosting sessions for hundreds of entrepreneurs who don't have access to necessary bandwidth or understanding of the English language to join our sessions on their own. Thank you very importantly to our VIP guests today. We are so privileged to be learning from you and to be sharing in your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you to all the presidents, prime ministers, ambassadors, government ministries, UN offices, US embassy corners, British council offices, university campuses, schools, business incubators, chamber of commerces, community centers, and community radio stations, all your ongoing weekly hosting support and for raising awareness in your regions and communities. Thank you to everyone from our UN Women team for all your support as well. Again, this week we are streaming across new live platforms. If you'd like to share us with your community and would like to empower and inspire entrepreneurs in your community, make sure to reach out to us so that we can broadcast on a radio station near you. So the moment you've all been waiting for, we are here to learn from the best, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. Our topic for today is learn about those tiny business habits that will make your entrepreneurial business more money. To make our VIPs comfortable, VIPs, this is how it's going to work. We're going to ask one of you a question, and we would love to hear all your insights. Feel free to jump on in and share your insights and just have a brilliant time, because we want you to enjoy yourselves so that we can learn from you. So starting off easy today, why don't we put Doug in the hot seat? And Doug, here goes. Doug, how would you define a habit for success?
Well, the biggest thing that I use the acronym of MAKE, and it's all about make sales, make business, make things happen. And the acronym is basically you've got to be very motivated. You've got to have a lot of action and activity. You need to have knowledge of your product, yourself, and your client. And finally, you need to be full of energy and enthusiasm. So that's the key thing really for me.
Thank you, Doug. Shivani, I know you're also very passionate about psychology when it comes to both personal success as well as business success. Would you like to add anything in terms of your thoughts on habits of success?
Yes, absolutely. I would actually begin by defining that, habits are regular tendencies and practices, especially ones which is very hard to give up. And, as per research conducted by Duke University, about 40 to 45% of what we do is actually determined not by decisions, but by habits. And imagine out of 100% of the business decisions that we take on a daily basis, out of that, half of it, almost half of it, is a result of an automated function and not something that is arrived at strategically or logically using our cognition. So there, I feel it is very, very important to understand what habits are and replace them with the good ones. In order to, we cannot do away with bad habits. They're always there in us. It's just that we can replace them and of them and create two neural pathways in our brain. Use those habits in order to subdue the older ones and use more of the good habits and so that they become an automated part of our function.
Thank you, Shivani. Paulina, any thoughts you'd like to add to what Doug and Shivani had to say before we jump on to our next question?
Fabulous. Well, on the subject of effectiveness, I think I'd recommend, first of all, good bit of working on your own self-awareness to understand what you are fantastic at and how you can take your edge to the edge. For me, sales, networking, seeing commercial opportunities and following them is something that I'm fabulous at. And also to realize what it is that you suck at. For me, that would be process-oriented work. That would be pretty much all the stuff that needs to be done to scale a company effectively, which is why I'm proud of a fabulous business partner and a team of 35 who are so much smarter at things that I'm not particularly smart at. So I would recommend make sure that you've got all of the people that you need to take your business to the next level. And be humble. At the same time, don't be overly self-critical. Be aware of what you're great at, what you need help in, and surround yourself with people who are kick-ass and who can take your business to the next level.
Thank you, Paulina. And you touched on something that I hear on a regular basis from very successful, ambitious entrepreneurs: surrounding yourself with people that are smarter than you. This is definitely a habit for success. Lalit, what do you think about what Paulina's been saying? Surrounding yourself with people smarter than you. You're young and you super accomplished. Please share your insights.
Yeah, I'm completely agree with what Paulina said. I remember my dad said one thing when I was kid. He always said, like, if you are with the people who is less intelligent than you will not learn anything. So you have to be with the people who is more smarter than you, more intelligent than you, because you will learn something from them. So I'm completely agree what Paulina said. And if you want to earn some knowledge, you have to be, in a group of the people who is smarter, who wants to learn something. It's not always that you have to be teach everyone. No, you will get learning from as well. So there is no age or there is no time of learning. So this is something I'm completely agree with the Paulina.
Thank you, Lalit, and I'm going to come back to this question. I know Anand's got some insights he'd like to share here too. Please go for it, Anand.
Yeah, so while building a team, it's not only having people that are smarter than you. Like Paulina said, your knowledge is limited to a certain field, or you've got strengths in a certain area. And it's to build a team where you realize that you don't have these strengths. For example, I'm not a tech guy, but to be in the tech world, I know that I've got to have a very strong tech team. So you start partnering with people to complement a few strengths, and then you bring it all together, and that's what builds a great company, and 1 + 1 makes 3.
Thank you, Anand. And this is a question to all our panelists, but I'm going to direct it at Doug, following up from what we've been saying. Doug, you've done very, very well in business. Were there ever times where you did surround yourself with very strong team members, but you may have felt slightly insecure that you weren't as strong, but you needed to learn and grow? And how did you handle that?
Yeah, I totally. I mean, there's some amazing people in my industry that I've met through the years, and you know, life is about learning. Like yourself, I'm an avid reader of many different people, but I also learn from people. And I think the most important thing to do is to listen. And if you listen and learn from others, you can pick up what they do best and try and model yourself on them. But in terms of being slightly insecure, absolutely. You know, but you know, complacency in work, in life, can aid you. Can lead to not performing to the optimum capability. But if you learn from others and you're always aware of what others are doing that maybe are better than what you're doing, then you can improve your performance and optimize your potential in life.
Thank you, Doug. And I know Paulina's got some insights she'd love to share there. Paulina, please go for it. I hope we never lost Paulina there. I'm sure she's coming back.
Sorry, guys, it's taking me a little bit longer than I'd like to unmute myself each time. Yeah, absolutely love that bit about insecurities. I think it's incredibly important to be real as an entrepreneur, to be in touch with yourself and what your strengths and weaknesses are, but also to be in touch with your clients or potential clients. I mean, just addressing also those listeners who perhaps are only just starting a business, and in touch with the reality of what the problems are, the reality of what is the very tangible value that you can add, in touch with what is it that what kind of value does your business represent that your clients would happily pay for, would be delighted to pay for. So that kind of level of humility is absolutely essential. And I'll give you a quick example about kind of my own journey as a leader, with particularly with regards to kind of humility and openness. So my company is quite specific. We run Holacracy, which is a system, those who know Zappos might recognize the term Holacracy. It's a governance and operations system that allows us to self-manage. So as founders, we have given that power to our team. And in the office, we talk about absolutely everything. We choose our own salaries. Everybody has got access to company accounts. Everybody knows what money is being spent on. It's a kind of radically transparent environment. And recently, I realized there was one thing I was uncomfortable talking about in the office. It wasn't my mental health, and I went through years and years of depression. It wasn't my relationships. I run a business with my husband, so our relationship is obviously visible in the office. It was the fact that sometimes I'm uninspired and bored at work. And I used to believe that as a founder of the company, this is something I am not allowed to show a sign of, because how can I expect the people that have come on board to join my vision to be inspired if I cannot provide that spark of inspiration myself? And every week we have this session which we call the Grand Tree Fundamentals. Grand Tree is the name of my company, and we discuss different topics related to people and culture and our kind of organizational consciousness and development. And I decided to run a session particularly on boredom as the last remaining taboo at work. And I said literally to my colleagues, I've recently realized that there's one thing I'm really uncomfortable talking to you about, and that is all those days, all those moments when I don't feel like I love what I do. And there will be moments for all of you where you hate what you do. You don't want to wake up and go and do the same thing over and over again, and it feels like a drudgery. And what the feedback that I received was absolutely stunning. People told me that they feel like that too, and that it's perfectly normal, that they feel relieved that I am able to admit that, as opposed to kind of keeping a kind of I'm on it kind of attitude all the time, and that they are happy to hold space for me as a founder on those days when I don't feel particularly inspired. And I just felt such gratitude and such joy that day to have kind of opened up with kind of quite a large degree of humility for me about things that I considered were inappropriate for a founder to feel or share. So I would encourage you really go deep with your team and with yourself in terms of what your feelings are about your business. Be in touch with that, because that's where the real depth is.
Paulina, thank you for sharing those insights, because I think I can identify very strongly, because I felt those feelings many times. And again, I was embarrassed to say it, because you feel like you're betraying your business, you're betraying your team, you're betraying what you stand for. So I think it's critically important that everybody pay attention to what you're saying. So thank you for honoring us with that honesty. I know Lalit had some insights he wanted to share, and Anand. So Lalit, please go for it.
Yeah, so just let me few lines in the last question, what Paulina said and Doc said. Like, with the good listener, we have to be good observer as well, because we always find like we have to listen with what people are saying. We can learn from everyone. It's not something that we can learn only from the smart people. We can learn from the kids. We can learn from the people who is living below poverty and all. And maybe we can learn from the non-living thing as well. So with the good listener, we have to be good observer, because if you ask the people, for example, I give you example. Like, if you ask the people, like, how many of you like to be healthier, more proactive, happier? Everybody will say yes. But if you ask how, then the same people will, mute. So we have to find out like how we have to learn things from the other, and how we are going to implement the same thing in our way. So this is very important. Like, you can listen everyone, but you have to do what is the good thing for you. So this is something I want to add on this question. Thank you.
Thank you, Lalit. Anand, I know you had some insights you wanted to share in terms of all the fascinating things Paulina was saying. Please go for it, Anand.
Yeah, see, there's bound to be some insecurity sometimes when there's a star performer and someone starts outdoing him. But as a leader, it's always important to set a culture in the company where you feed off each other's success. You're happy for each other's success. And also you start learning from what they're doing to ensure that there's certain things that you may not be doing which someone else is doing. And when you start teaching each other within the organization, and everyone shares their experience and doesn't keep it to themselves, to ensure that everyone is successful in the organization, that's important to set that culture in the company.
Thank you, Anand. And I know Doug's got some fascinating insights in terms of optimizing your health and energy to perform better when building your business. Doug, please share your thoughts.
Sure. So it's funny, if you think about it, when you walk into a room and two people have had an argument, you can feel the tension and the energy in the air. And likewise, if you walk into a party, you might have been a bit tired, you decide you're going to go home early, but by the end of the night, you're dancing your socks off still at 2 a.m. And this is a prime example of how energy is so important, and you can actually get energy dissipating from other people towards you. So you need to protect your energy, you need to optimize your energy. You can do that in various different ways, through nutrition, through positive thinking, and through meditation, where you can reduce stress and increase energy. Nutrition is very important because, if you're eating something like red meat, your digestive system takes a lot of energy to get that through your system. Whereas if you eat something much softer and easier, it means you have more energy for your immune system, for yourself, and for life. So energy is the main thing that I think that optimizes performance within people, in businesses, and what they're trying to achieve in life.
Thank you, Doug. And I never realized the importance of what you were saying. One of my partners has been going through a lot of health challenges. And, like all of you, we all go through a lot of stress in building our businesses. So what you were saying is critically important. So thank you for sharing it. Did you want to add anything there, Doug?
Yeah, just one more thing to add. If you think about it, your body's made up of cells. The cells regenerate all the time. Skin cells, bone cells, vessel cells, everything. So the only thing that binds and connects you all the way through your life is the energy within. So if you can optimize that energy, you can optimize your body and you can optimize your performance.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much for sharing these fascinating insights today with our community. Our next question goes to Paulina, and I know she's got some insights she wants to add there too. So I'm going to ask her to incorporate these two two questions together, given the limited time we all have together today. Paulina, this question goes as follows. In your experience as an entrepreneur, what have you found to be some of the most effective business habits that you've been able to apply to impact your business in the way that you have? Please go for it, Paulina.
Fabulous. Thanks a lot. So first of all, just to add on to the point about managing your energy, I believe it's absolutely crucial. Your health, your body, your spirit, your mental health is the biggest investment and the most, the biggest, contributes the biggest return on investment you could ever imagine. So if you don't have good health, if you're not in agreement with yourself, if you don't feel great in your body, nothing else really matters. And I've seen so many businesses, having worked with about 600 clients in my current business, Grantry, and obviously having met many, many more on the tech scene in London and beyond, I've seen so many people burning out and sacrificing their health, their well-being for their vision. And it just makes me incredibly, incredibly sad, because our bodies, our mental health, we're fragile. Everything comes from self-care and investment in yourself. If that's not there, there's nothing to give from. So please bear in mind, I've gone a huge way from nearing burnout to currently being in a space where I invest a lot in my well-being. I've got my internal, what I call my internal board of directors. So a few women I've known, and external board of supporters. So that would be people like my coach, my therapist, my Reiki healer, etc., and people who really hold space for me to be at my best. And I believe that to be a crucial investment, not just in myself, but in my business as well. So that's that subject. The habits that make my business successful and that really push me forward. I love to have a good morning routine. I have to say I haven't been as religious about it as I'd like to be, but having a little bit of space for yourself to reflect on the day ahead, to reflect on that one thing. If you were to do one thing that day that contributed the most to your business, what would that thing be? Just because it's so easy to kind of focus on your inbox, people from the team asking you questions, wanting input, but not really focus on what is it that I should be doing, that I'm not currently doing, that I'm not currently thinking about. So that's one, obviously surrounding yourself with excellent people. That's two. And three, I'd say reflection and gratitude. So what have I done that has really helped, that has really improved the business in some way? And what is there remaining? What can I learn from others? So that point that has been brought up repeatedly about surrounding yourself with people smarter than you. What is it that I could be doing to think bigger, to look farther? So yeah, that's what I'd recommend.
Thank you, Paulina. Fascinating insights being shared today. I hope everyone's got a pen and paper and taking notes from our VIP guest. Paulina, you're just a bank of information. So thank you for being so willing to share your wisdom with us. Lalit, I know you had some insights you quickly wanted to share. And then I know Doug had some insights he wanted to share on this question. So Lalit, please quickly go for it.
Okay, thank you, Alysia. Yeah. So for me, as a young entrepreneur, as a serial entrepreneur, the 5 topmost things which every entrepreneur have to adopt, and which I use in my life, when I started my first startup. So I think the few things are I'll start with the first one, which is more important, and maybe some people are not agree with me, that you have to become more selfish. Entrepreneur have to be more selfish. You have to give the time and energy to yourself to think on your idea. You have to give energy, you have to be relaxed, and you have to be work again from the scratch. So you have to be more selfish. Obviously you have to be kind as well, but you have to be more selfish for your project, for your idea. The second thing, which is more important, and what majority of the entrepreneurs or the startup founders are fail to do this thing, is you have to start from your home. Because what I found in India and what I found in France and in other countries as well, the founders started, investing a lot of money in the different thing, in the fancy thing, which is not important for your startup. So you have to be, you have to be cost cutting. You have to start cost cutting and start from your home. First, test your product, test your idea, get some traction, and then you have to move into the market. The third thing, which is, I think Paulina also touched the point, you have to start a morning and night ritual. You have to be, carry a journal, you have to be write a book or diary, carry a journal, and start something. Okay, what I have to do the first thing in morning, what I have to do the last thing in the night. So you have to make such kind of points in your diary or in your journal. Dedicate at least 30 minutes in a day to your hobby or your passion. You don't need to be, for example, I'm running 4 or 5 startups. This is important, like, because I'm running 5 startups and everybody say, okay, how are you managing 5 startups on the same time? I said, look, there's a 24 hours in a day. If you want, you can manage easily. So the main important tips is, when you want to work, you have to work. When you don't want to work, please don't work. Just go outside, just talk with the people, do your hobby, play cricket, play football and all. The last thing which I'm going to add is, like, at least have one meaning conversation per day. Don't push yourself to do a lot of things on the same day, on the same time. Just do one thing on one time. Just do finish one meeting, one client meeting or one team meeting in a day. Don't push yourself more than what you deserve. So I think this is the things I have to share what Paulina ended. The second thing, as Bernard said, let me see the Bernard question. Okay, so yeah, okay, so he talked about the mentor. Please don't mind mentors over there, but for me, best mentor for your startup is you, because you are the one who know about your startup. You are the one, what are the challenges, what are the market, what are the things, what are the strong points or the weak point for your startup. So the best mentor for you is you. But you have to share your idea with 3 types of people. The first one is your family. You have to share your idea with your family, but the family will not give you the neutral suggestion. Then you have to share your idea or share your project with the friends. They will give you the 50% neutral eye. The 50% will be like this, like they will favor you. But then you have to share this idea with the unknown people, with the random people, because these random people will give you the best neutral suggestion, which is most important suggestion for you. And the second thing, yes, be kind. As I'm completely agree. If you see any big people or any successful people over there, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, everyone, they are very kind. Because if you are not kind, then you are not achieved what you mean for. So this is, I have to finish now. This is what I have to say.
Thank you, Lalit. I'm enjoying every minute of learning from all of you. It's such a privilege. Doug, I know you had some insights you also wanted to share here. Please, will you jump on in and share your thoughts?
Yeah, so morning routine is incredibly important. I mean, it's so funny. There's so many people I speak to in the city where they're all basically stressed in the city. And, they wake up in the morning and the alarm goes off and the snooze button goes on. They fall asleep. The snooze button goes on again and again and again. They wander into the bathroom. They trip over the mat. They hit themselves. They look at themselves in the mirror and they wonder why they're doing what they're doing. And this is the wrong way of doing things. Like you said, I think it was Paulina said that, when you wake up in the morning, wake up with gratitude for everything that you have. Because if you're not grateful for what you have, you can't get more. And that's a real belief that I have. Secondly, I really believe in meditation, and you should do visualization techniques in the morning to visualize what you want to achieve in that day, what you want to achieve in life. At the same time, do affirmations alongside that of what you want to achieve. There was the guy who did the Dilbert book, and he wrote affirmations over and over again that he was going to be a successful author. He was going to be successful in passing certain exams, and he was. And I really believe in that kind of thing. So affirmations, visualizations, meditation to visualize where you are and where you want to be. I mean, one thing that I do with people, I go into corporates, and the CEO can always have his view on his vision for the company. But that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the guys who are working for him have that same vision. So what I do is I put together meditations that are based on the visualization of the CEO for the rest of the employees as well. And it's very powerful because it's putting positive vibes and positive ideas into people's head and making them work together towards that goal. And then as well as at the end of the day, in terms of routine, I think it's very important to do a meditation, just basically thanking everything or gratitude for the whole of the day and relaxing yourself. Because if you reduce stress, you increase energy for life. And that's very, very important. And then finally, just on one thing, which was said was about in terms of startups and in terms of getting ideas from other people. I do agree that obviously the best person is yourself to know what you're doing. But at the same time, try and find someone who's done something similar or something that you want to do and model yourself on them. because if you model yourself as someone who's actually been successful at already doing it, you can learn a lot from them. And that's,
so Doug,
that's what.
Thank you. We've got a quick community question for you. And I know you're running out of time. I'm so sorry, but we all love learning from you. Our community question goes is, Doug, did you always have these views even before you had your bad experience?
Well, I was always very positive, outwardly going, but suffered a lot from stress, anxiety, and depression, especially after 2008. I'm very empathic to other people's energies. My company laid off about a third of their people, and at that stage, probably not. But the near-death experience was amazing. I mean, literally, I was rushed to hospital. I was going down to X-ray, pain, anxiety, ECG said heart, and then suddenly the lights went on. And I was encapsulated in this beautiful feeling of love. There was no one there. It was just pure light, but there was a knowing presence and a knowing telepathic choice of whether I could stay or go. And I felt I had to do something and came back. And since then, it's really become much more inwardly. Well, since I really got to know my inner self, I've studied 5 modalities of healing to master teacher level. And that really has helped me get where I am. But meditation is the key for everybody. And I cannot say that enough.
It's so interesting you say that, because it seems like the world's best entrepreneurs and business leaders swear by meditation. So to all our entrepreneurs, if you haven't tried meditation yet, this is something that is a habit for success, both in your personal and business life. Please learn from Doug's example and our other experts' examples. Clearly, it works. Anand, I know you had some insights you wanted to share there. Please go ahead.
Yeah, some great insights from the rest of the panel over here, and I mean, there's a lot that I follow as well. But just to add on, there's one thing that I would like to beg to differ with on what Lalit said on the mentor part of it, because I mean, as I stated earlier, it's about complementing your skill set, and for some people they don't really require mentorship, but there are a lot of startups that I work with that don't have the experience of running a company, don't have the understanding of how to scale, and so they've got the idea, they've got the technology in place, etc. And at these kind of times, having a mentor on board just to keep you on track, someone from the outside just saying, you know what, you're losing focus, or you're getting off track, this is where you need to come back on. It's always great to have that someone just giving you a bit of advice. Also, on certain things that we do in our companies over here, as a leader of a company, one thing I try and do is always keep myself free in the day. I try and get out daily operational stuff, because what happens is you start getting bogged down. At the end of the day, you say, hey, you know what, I've done a lot of work for today, and you're content with that. And that helps in the short-term goals of the company, but it doesn't help you in achieving the long-term vision and building ideas and constantly changing your strategy to achieve what your goals are. So keeping yourself free from your data, from operational activities, I feel for me works well to achieve my vision. Also setting a good culture in the company, especially in startups, people don't understand this word culture, what it's about, etc. And basically, it's the personality of the founders coming through the entire company. And so, whatever example you set as the lead in the company is going to come through to everyone else, and everyone else is going to fall into that culture. So, being kind, obviously, is right up there. Being fair to everyone is there. Having an environment that is inclusive works great as well. And
thank you, Anand. Again, once again, I think we're just sharing the world's best insights. This company culture, startup culture, and seeing some of the challenges currently being faced in Silicon Valley is something critically important to business success. And I'm sure that Paulina's got some insights here too that she'd love to share. So we're going to ask Paulina to share her thoughts. Then Lalit's got some ideas he'd like to share, and then Doug. So Paulina, please go for it.
Great, very, very well said. Listening with interest, and I couldn't agree more when it comes to I would say leaving space. So there's this idea of kind of having space for things to happen, for ideas to emerge. And by space, I mean space in your mind, and that kind of comes with meditation, with self-care, but space in your day as well, and in your schedule. So I would kind of add to the arguments before that, on one hand, that space in your schedule is there for you to focus on what it is that you should be doing that you're not doing yet, to have some really super high quality thinking time. But also what I recently reflected on is that space in the day, particularly when you're in the office, and I've got 35 people in the office these days, it's super important to have just a very kind of space to give very human touch to the interactions that you have with your team. Sometimes I feel it's more important for me to be able to sit down with someone, just ask, how are you? How's your girlfriend? How was your holiday? Just to connect on a very human level, as opposed to kind of barge in and like, did you reply to Johnny? What quote are we giving client XYZ? Sometimes those human connections that I've had in the office have been just the most beautiful things that I've experienced. So I really encourage you as entrepreneurs, particularly those with you with slightly bigger teams, to always find time in your schedule, create time in your schedule where there's nothing in particular you have to be doing, no calls, no meetings. You're just responsive to whatever emerges, to whatever requires your attention, your loving input, your presence. So that's that. And on the second, I was just thinking there's something else that I wanted to share with you guys and ladies. Culture. Oh, culture is a big subject, and I actually talk about this at conferences all over Europe and further out sometimes too. We have evolved. My husband and I decided to create a kind of company that we would like to work for if we're looking for a job today. And what that meant, I mean, that had really pretty radical consequences for us, because when you think about it, we spend about 70 to 80% of our time at work. And it's just something that's difficult for me to fathom, that most people go to work in order to earn the money and therefore the freedom to do personal growth and personal development and fulfilling their passions in the 20 to 30% of time remaining. And I just think that is the biggest kind of waste of human potential possible. I totally believe in creating the kinds of environments where people are trusted as adults. People are allowed and encouraged to make mistakes. People are trusted with resources, and that means budgets, that means decisions that are crucial to the future of your company. And I believe in creating environments where we challenge each other, where we grow together, where we have very productive and focused conflicts, where it's not just okay, but actually almost demanded of people to give direct feedback to each other, to not shy away from that. So there's just so much I could say on the subject of company culture. Please feel free, if those things are of interest to you: open companies, transparent salaries, holacracy, self-management. If those things are of interest to you, as I say, I could talk myself to death here, so just reach out to me personally and would be more than happy to tell you more about our journey as a company.
Thank you, Paulina, and I definitely agree. I'm taking 1,000 notes. Everyone should see my notepad here with the pencil going and going and going. You're a bank of information. We'll definitely be inviting you back to share more of your fascinating insights. Lalit, I know you had some thoughts you wanted to share. Please go for it. And then I know Doug had some thoughts, and Anand also had some thoughts. I know our time is limited. So Lalit, please jump on in and share them as quickly as you can.
Perfect. So let me start with the meditation. Let me add some 2-3 lines, because I'm a big fan of meditation. I'll do my meditation every 30 minutes every morning since I was like 7 years old. So I'm a big fan of that meditation. But just let me tell you, the meditation, the form of the meditation is different. For me, I do the meditation is completely different from the way how Doug do the meditation. So it's the same for you as well. So I'm like, the meditation, it's important, but the way how you want to do the meditation is completely different from each to it. The second thing, someone from our participant asked, like the stress and the relation between the stress and the success. Oh, so there is a no relationship between the stress and success. Obviously, every entrepreneur or every employee in a corporate company is stressful in the starting of his career. It doesn't mean that you are not going to be successful if you have some stress in the starting. Okay, the second thing, let me add some points about the corporate culture, the company culture, and the startup culture, because I work in the corporate as well. I'm working in a startup as well, because in a startup you have very small team, so you have more time for the team management. You have more time, you have more capability to lead a team, because you are just leading a small team. In a big company, the leader, which you call the team manager or the team leader or the founder of the company, is have some restriction, because in the offices you have the big team, so you have some restriction to lead a whole team. But in a startup you have a very small team, so you have more advantage to lead it in a team. But in a startup you have more struggle, more challenges, because you have lack of resources, you have lack of so many different things. Okay, and you have to do a lot of things. So in a startup you have a lot of stress, but you have lots of freedom. In a company, in a big business, you have less challenges, but you have, you don't have any more chances to grow what you have chances in a startup. So I think I'll stop here and I'll allow other people to add.
Thank you, Lalit. Doug, jump on in, please share your insights.
Yeah, I agree with everything that was said there. The other thing I'd say, though, is when you're starting up your business, whatever that business might be, is not to go into the intention of trying to make money out of it. It's to go into the intention with service to others. And when you go into with that intention to serve others, that's when the universe just tends to work for you and the economics look after themselves. My fund managers in my asset management firm were always trying to outperform their peers and do better than their peers. And I changed their culture in terms of thinking there. What I said to them, I said, don't think that way. Think in terms of, I want to achieve the best possible performance for the underlying client, so he or she can help their grandchildren with school fees, can add more money to charity, or whatever that might do to add value to other people's lives. And when you add value to other people's lives, that's when you find things just happen magically for you. Now, the other thing I'd just like to finish on is in terms of, I mentioned earlier on about energy, thoughts are energy, speech is energy, actions are energy. So be careful how you think, because thoughts lead to thoughts lead to speech, speech leads to actions, actions lead to habits, and habits leads to destiny. So start with a positive thought and hopefully you'll end with a positive destiny.
I hope everyone was taking notes, because everything Doug has touched on proves that he's one of the world's best. Guys, you've got to keep adding value, and the energy you put out into the world is critical to your success. I know that Anand had some insights he wanted to add there. Anand, please jump on in.
Yeah, Doug, you hit the nail on the head. It's all about what you're passionate about and your offerings to the clients and how you want to help them. That's how my partner and me came together. We were both mentors, and we both and it's just that in doing this, people started looking to us and saying, hey, you know what, you've got the knowledge, you've got the understanding, and they started passing on projects to us. That's how we started the company, and it's been great and doing that. And we even started our tech accelerator for the same reason, because we started noticing that when we outsource our product development as a service, people want more hand-holding, more commitment from us. And so we said, let's partner together, and we come in as your partners. We're always there to support you. You're a non-tech guy. It makes a lot of sense to them, and they really appreciate the angle that we're coming from.
Thank you, Anand. And again, so many interesting insights. Shivani, I know you had some thoughts you wanted to share there. Please go for it.
Yes, thanks, Alysia. I actually wanted to add about meticulous planning and tracking. It's very important to understand that, if we are aiming to reach point B, how am I going to do that? And how am I tracking that? And so that it gives me a direction and a better understanding of how I'll approach the finish line in the future. And it's also very important to actually track against that as to how I have been faring against the plan that I have made. That's one thing. And the second thing, which again I feel is very, very important in auto setup, is persistent action. Because we've discussed about this earlier. Lalit, Pauline, Anand, all of them have spoken about believing in ourselves, and which is very, very important for persistent action, because we have to be ready for failures and wear it as a badge for success. You see. It's very, very important to consistently be in the business that we actually firmly believe in, and keep at it and have the grit to continue to see to where we want. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Shivani. Now we're going to jump onto a question we ask our VIPs every single week, because it's a very cool question to ask and we love to hear their insights. So this question goes to our whole panel. We're going to start with Paulina. So Paulina, what excites you in 2017 and what industries, in your opinion, are ripe for disruption? Please jump on in and share your insights as quickly as you can, because we just want to make sure our whole panel answers it. Go for it, Paulina.
Absolutely, because I am in the technology industry. I hugely, massively believe in green technology and clean technology, particularly things like waste to energy. I just think there are some genius people out there who are thinking as we speak how to save the planet, and I hope the planet will be saved because of some fabulous minds out there. And also social enterprises, charities, tech for good. So I'm seeing lots of very interesting initiatives that are using technology or the power of entrepreneurial mind to create some good in the world, and that is fabulously inspiring.
Thank you, Paulina. On behalf of our community, I know they're going to want to get you more involved in our community, so I'm definitely going to be following up with you after this session. Lalit, what excites you in 2017? What industries are ripe for disruption? Tell us your thoughts.
I think as a social entrepreneur, for me, you have to be connect the tech with the social. For me, what I'm doing, I'm not a tech guy, but I'm leading a 3 tech startups. So what we are doing is like a lot of people, there is a very famous, fight between Elon Musk and the Mark Zuckerberg for the AI and the machine learning. But as a founder of one of the AI and machine learning startup, if you have the right motion, if you have the right idea to connect the industries like AI and machine learning with the social impact, then you just bang on the right thing. So you have to be focused on the social enterprises, no matter in what industry you are working on, but you have to create some social impact connect with some the tech part as well. So you have to bring back the nature to the people. So my bet on the social industry, social sector, no matter which industry you are working for, you just need to connect the tech with the social impact and bring the social impact to the community, to the world, with some innovation.
Awesome insights. Doug, what excites you in 2017 and what industries are ripe for disruption?
What excites me? Well, I'm writing a book to help people with stress, anxiety, and depression, as I mentioned earlier on. I've got a lot of conferences in terms of motivational speaking, keynote speaking, and my aim is to help people. And there's a lot of people, whatever industry you're in, who suffer from stress and anxiety. And if you can help that and you can optimize your energy through reducing that, you can achieve so much more in life. One thing I would say is what you give out, you get back. So what you expect in life, you get back. There's a great guy called Wayne Dyer. I'm sure you've heard of him. He said he was in Maui. Someone came up to him and said, "Wayne, what's it like here in Maui?" He said, "Where are you from?" They said, "New York." They said, "What's New York like?" They said, "Well, it's a bit grumpy. They move around too much. They run around too much, and they don't really give you much time." And he said, "Well, that's a bit like that here in Maui." Another lady went up to him the following week, said exactly the same thing. She came from Boston. He said, "What are they like there?" She said, "They're lovely. They're open. They're friendly and everything." And he said, "Yep, they're like that here as well." And the whole point is basically what you look for, you get. What you expect, you get. So give out positivity and you'll get back positivity.
Love it, love it, love it. Anand, tell us what excites you in 2017, what industries are ripe for disruption. Shivani, you go next. Anand, please go for it.
Alysia, truthfully, I don't like the word disruption. I prefer the term enabling, because when we start something, we're not looking to shut someone down, but we're looking to empower the industry that we're in. one concern of mine over here in today's technology, with all the automation coming through, artificial intelligence, etc., there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of human capital that gets left behind, and I'd like to see more industries and technology being all inclusive for society. I'd like to see it helping people come through when it comes to their career as well, because that's an important part of life.
Absolutely. Very, very, very important. Shivani, please share out your insights with us. What excites you in 2017? What industries are ripe for disruption?
I think most of the industries are ripe for in disruption, be it banking, manufacturing, education, medical health, it's already there. All the industries are ripe for disruption. What we do need to think about is how do we tackle it? How do we deal with it? How do we adapt so that it does not create a society into haves and have-nots, but it's a more equal society. And there's a huge possibility and responsibility on everybody to kind of brace the disruption in the most equipped manner and push for a more equal society.
Thank you, Shivani. Absolutely brilliant insights being shared on one of our favorite questions that we ask every week. Now we're going to ask our VIPs to prepare their tweet piece of advice that we can all go ahead and activate and make sure that we apply to our businesses on our journeys to success. Thanks to everyone for this truly amazing session. It really was a very special one today. Just to keep you posted on our upcoming sessions, with some of the world's joining us, world's best joining us again as panelists. On the 9th of August, how to close that first big deal as an entrepreneur. On the 16th of August, toxic entrepreneurial behaviors and how to avoid them. On the 23rd of August, start thinking and start doing. Is it really that easy? Remember to keep us up to date on all your progress and exciting news. We love highlighting your success, and we love hearing that you're succeeding as a result of our global fireside chat community. You can always find me on LinkedIn, as well as our champions and these global thought leaders who so generously shared their knowledge and insights with us today. Remember to keep us up to date. If you enjoyed today's session and feel there are other entrepreneurs around the globe that can benefit from our community, make sure to share the invitation, because we love empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs around the globe. Now I'm going to ask our VIPs to share their tweet piece of advice. So, Paulina, hit it. What's your tweet piece of advice?
Yes, I've got it. So it just came to me the moment you asked the question. One of you said, and shout out which one it was, be your own mentor. And I just thought, this is bloody genius, because what I understand by that is trusting yourself, trusting your body, trusting your intuition, investing in your health and your well-being. So guys, be your own mentors.
Love it, love it, love it. Anand, please share your tweet piece of advice.
Yeah, so mine is keep evolving. The only constant is change. Right now in today's world of technology, you need to keep changing. You need to keep reinventing yourself.
Thank you, Anand. Doug, your tweet piece of advice.
Goes back to the acronym that I said at the start. Make it happen, make life happen. Motivate yourself, find out what the passion is in your life, and motivate yourself to do it. Be action activated, be knowledgeable about it, and be full of energy.
Love it, love it, love it. Lalit, please share your tweet piece of advice.
So my advice is just a very small advice is, please don't compare your X with someone Y. You are different and somebody is other different. Make social impact, no matter you are earning your money from your project, but just make sure that you are creating some impact, because at the end of the day, you will be remembered what you did for the people in your life, not by the money, how much money you earn. So just do what you want to do. Just create some social impact, help people, learn a lot, be kind. That's all. Thank you.
I love it. Shivani, please share your tweet piece of advice.
Yes, thank you. I think in these uncertain times, I'd just like to make a point that we must always appreciate the challenges, as challenges come in the garb of opportunities, and opportunities come in the garb of challenges, and we must appreciate them, develop our own capabilities around them, and put forth ourselves in the most cost-effective manner.
Thank you, Shivani. I just wanted to say my tweet piece of advice: be grateful for everything that you have. This is a privilege. Learning from these global experts is a privilege. Being an entrepreneur is a privilege. We have so much to be grateful for. As our VIP shared, we are living through very uncertain times, and we should be appreciative and grateful for all the wonderful things in our lives. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask our VIPs to shout bye to all of you. Thank you again to everyone for an amazing session. We want you to have a truly amazing week. As our experts would agree, remember to keep hustling and to never, ever, ever give up. On the count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Have a kick-ass
Bye-bye.
week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.